Alright, YouTube. So I got a little DIY project here. I have this ranch hand grill push bar for the Tundra. This fits 2020 or 2014 to like 2021 models. This truck is a 21 and this grill is from a 15 or 16. So the trick is don't install these super tight, let them be loose until you have this lined up. These go on the inside of these, and I'm a one-man show here, have no help at it's like 1 in the morning, I'm on night shift. So I figured I put this is about 129 pounds, I think, something like that. It's 125. Lift it up, put it on there, balance it with with the other hand, jack it up to the right height. But in order for that to work, you gotta put this close to the right space when you jack it up. So right there should be good. If you're concerned about dings and scratches, get you some moving blankets and just toss it over the truck. That way you don't go ahead and drop the bull bar on top of it. And then you'll be upset that you scratched your paint. So, I'll show you guys when it's on there and any other tips and tricks I can think of. And there you go. With one man, you're able to get this heavy object up on the truck. So you can see right now, the jack is completely holding the weight of this. Everything's very loose. And I'm doing it this way so that I'm gonna match all these up, get them all rough, because if you bolt this super tight, you're never gonna get this to line up right. And if you do, you're a genie and I'm not. So this is a one take wonder. I'm not doing this twice. I figured do it right the first time, not try to lift it and struggle. But now I'll get all the 6, there's 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on this side, get all 6 bolts in there, tighten them up, and then tighten up the part that mounts the frame. I thought I'd have another tip for you guys. So you see how this looks rather bare and skeleton? That's because the guy who installed this prior to me said, yeah, take out this grill fascia. But I don't like the way it looks without it. So I took a blade, razor blade, box cutter, and I cut a slit in the factory grill fascia. And you notice it's gonna fit rather seamless in there. So we have a factory fascia grill. All I did was cut 4 of the fins. 4 fins, bent it back. You can trim that off, do whatever you want, but now we'll see how that looks instead of it looking like that, all bare, half baked. I don't like the way it looks. I thought of putting a light bar in here, but if you look at the design of the truck, if you see that there, even in the frame rail, there's holes for air to get through and cool that radiator. If I put a light here, I'm gonna block some of that current. So some people might say, oh, it's not a big difference, it's not a big deal, but I don't feel like blocking it. So it's your truck, do whatever you want. It's my truck. I'm gonna do a light bar probably right down here or up there in that space. There's space right here, so I might just do a light bar in here. We'll get to that project another time. Let's keep tightening it up. And if your bull bar, you get it off Marketplace like I did, no instructions. This is your tow hook. You'll have one under each of the front frame rail. And all you do is take off the tow hook, put this bracket in, put the tow hook back on with the bracket. That way you keep your tow hooks, and then you secure your bull bar. Pretty simple here. And then if you're wondering how that top bracket goes in there, the one that I fit in here, these, I don't know what you call this. You see those 1, 2, 3 nuts that are coming out of here? I mean, I think this is if this ever gets on a front end impact, this will buckle. It's like a cushion, a steel cushion. Instead of pushing all the energy to the frame and creasing the frame, it'll crease this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what my brain thinks it's for. Anyways, it goes to the top one of that third, the very top nut, and you have to use a box wrench to secure that up there. It's nice to have a ratcheting one. That way you just ratchet it. If you don't, I'm just planning on being here a while. But we're getting there. Another famous question that I'm sure I'm gonna get asked is, whoa, what do you torque these to? Now, I don't know why, whenever I watch videos growing up on YouTube, nobody would ever give torque specs. I don't know if they're afraid they're gonna get sued or what. But disclaimer, I'm probably gonna get the torque wrench out and do it like 150 pounds maybe of torque. I mean, you could put thread locker on there, but just if you hear any rattling, why don't you go ahead and just check these, make sure they're tight. It's not really rocket science. Mechanics, people think, well, you have to have a specific torque and blah, 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 blah. But I've driven plenty of rigged vehicles and, you know, just snug it up and it'll be all right. Just keep checking it periodically. But if you don't have a torque wrench, just get yourself a 1/2-inch socket like this and, you know, tighten it until you feel like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Here today is a bull bar that is a little dull, so I'm going to be using a 2-step process. I got the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Ultimate Polish. It's not going to be perfect, but you can clean the pad between changing, but really if you don't care and you just want to try to get it looking a little shiny without putting too much effort in it, just use the same pad. That's a medium pad. There's a polishing pad, medium cutting, and then heavy cutting pad. But I'm just gonna smack some of this stuff on there, lather it up, and try to get it looking a little bit shinier. I'm not sure if you're even gonna be able to notice what I do. Let's see if I can get a backward shot of this, and I'll come back when I'm done. That's just a DA rotary polisher. Just gonna slap some on and let's see how it turns out. And there's the 2-step process, the after. Could you really tell a little difference? It's just with one light, that light bar on it. In the daytime it'll probably shine out nice. And I did notice the dull edges here, they came out pretty good. I guess the way the sun hits the clear coat, and the clear coat being thinner on the inside, but the dullness went away here. You could see, oh, I think I missed some spots in here, but overall came out okay. It's not perfect. And then again, whatever is perfect. Came out pretty decent. It'll look good in the sun. That bottom bar really didn't come out much. That probably needs a cutting compound. Now this one here, the first step is a micro abrasive. So it's a color and clarity restore. It's okay, but I do like using it boom and boom. It's a little two-step process, and I spent 10 minutes on this, so if I were to do it right, I'd sand it down with wet sand and then polish it from the wet sand up. But the question is, how much clear coat did they use on these? Ranch hand, I doubt they went crazy with lots of clear coat. So before you sand off the clear coat, try buffing it first, because it might you might go right through that clear coat and into the paint. Anyways, let's see what it looks like. And I put these blankets on here because you do not want polish in your grill, because that stuff will get in every nook and cranny and you will be cleaning it out for years, trust me. So, I mean, it's not half bad. Obviously the paint on the truck is nice and shiny, so it's nice to have a little bit of matching. The matching going on. But anyways, hope you like this little DIY video. Thanks for watching.